Okay, so my name is Bilal, and today we'll be solving Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics 0580 Transformations Paper 2. We'll be solving the remaining questions. We were done with the first 8 questions, now we'll be solving the questions from question number 9. Right? So before we start, here is an announcement that please do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Moving to part A, we are given with describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. So apparently there is no change in size, right? Which means this is not an enlargement, right? The edges won't be parallel. We can see it. We'll see it when we draw a line. So it won't be translation, right? So it can be a rotation or a reflection, right? It appears to be a rotation, right? Because if it is a reflection, there is no change in like the angle change, right? So let's just draw the edges first. So this will be the edges. Sorry, I made a mistake over here. This would be this. Yes. So this is it, and then this is it, right? So in when we have a reflection, these all overlap, these lines overlap, right? And that is our line of reflection. But since they are not overlapping, this is a rotation, right? So we have this as rotation. Now we need three things in rotation, right? The angle, direction, and the center, right? This is the basic, this is the main thing, center. We have to find the center first, right? So to find a center, we have to first mark the edges. These are the two edges. We have to draw a line bisector over here, right? So for line bisector, you will put a compass nib over here, then draw a line over here. Open the compass more than half and draw an arc over above the line and then below the line, and then you will put the nib of compass over here and then put an arc over here. Put an arc over here and then put an arc over here, right? So this thing would be something. Now this is an example, right? It can be anything, right? So this is it, and we have drawn this line bisector. Now we'll be drawing the line bisector of this, right? So we'll open the compass more than half and then place an arc over here, then put an arc over here above the line and below the line. We'll be opening the compass more than half, then we'll put the nib over here. We'll be drawing an arc over here, then we'll complete the line bisector, and this would be something like the arcs would be over here, I guess, somewhat over here. Made some mistake in the right. So this would be our, I guess these would be our arcs, right? So these would meet at a single point and that would be a center, right? So our center is given as 0 and -1. This is a rough, since this is a rough sketch, so this center would be meeting at 0 and -1, which is here, right? So our center is given as 0 and -1, and then we'll draw a single line over here which will from the center till the object and till the image, right? So these are the lines. Now we can clearly see there is a 90-degree angle, so the angle would be 90 degrees. We have to find the direction. This is an object and this is the image, so it has moved over here, so this is an anti-clockwise movement, right? This is an anti-clockwise direction, right? Now part 2 states triangle A onto triangle C. So this is basically an enlargement, right? A delargement, I would say, right? So let's just remove these first to make it clear, right? So this is it will be matching the edges or the vertices to make it clear, to find the scale factor and the other things and the center of enlargement. For enlargement we need two things, right? That is the center of enlargement and the scale factor, right? So this is an enlargement. We need the center and the scale factor, right? So let's just write this: enlargement and scale factor, right? So we have this, then we have this, right? Now let's just extend this as well. So that we have a center, right? So this would be our center, I guess. That is 6 and 6, right? So our center would be 6, 6. Our scale factor would be, so this is our object and this is our image. So this is 3 and this is 1. So scale factor is given by image size over object size, right? So this would be 1 over 3, right? Moving on, part B, draw the image of triangle A after translation by the vector 2, 10, right? So we have this as -3 and -9. So this is -3 and -9. We add the translation matrix, which is 2, 10. We get it as -1 and 1, right? So this would be -1 and 1 would be here. Let's just draw these 1, 2 and then 3. This would be 1, 2 and then 3 over here. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 above. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6 over here, right? So let's draw the triangle. Let's complete the triangle. So this would be the triangle, right? I hope the things are clear. Right, so this is our final triangle. That is, let's just mark this as X, right? So marked X. Moving on to question number 10, we have described the fully single transformation that maps triangle T onto triangle A, right? So this appears to be a translation or a reflection, right? It appears to be a translation. So let's just check it first. If these lines are parallel, if the edges lines are parallel, then it is simply a translation. Otherwise, if they overlap, then it is a reflection, right? So this is basically a translation, since these are the parallel lines, right? So we have a parallel lines. We have parallel lines, so it's a translation. And with translation, we need translation matrix. right? Triangle T onto triangle A. So this we have 2 and 2 and 2. We add the translation matrix, that is x and y, to get this. This is 1 and -6, right? So let's just bring this over here. So this would be xy equals to 1, -2, -6 and -2. So this would be -1 and -8, right? So we have translation matrix with matrix -1 and -8, right? So we get the 2 points. Draw the image of the triangle T after an enlargement, scale factor -1, 2, right? So this is the triangle, right? And this is the center, right? So it has to be -1/2. This has to be our image size, and this has to be our object size, right? So since this is the image size and object size, we are given with the center 0, 0, and it has to be a -1/2, right? So this would be, this is 2 up and 2 on the right, so the negative part would make it the opposite, right? This would be -1 and -1, right? And this is because we have to move 1 in the image size, right? So this would be -1, and this is -8, sorry, this is 8 and then 2 up, right? So we'll be dividing this by 2 and adding a negative sign, right? So this would be -1 and -4, right? So -1 and then -4. This would be it. Sorry, -4 and -1. This would be -4 and -1, right? Because this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, right? So we have this as our diagram. Then this point, we'll take this point. This is 2 on the x-axis, meaning -1 on the x-axis, right? And 4 on the up, which means -2 on the down, right? So this would be the simply triangle, right? So let's mark this as x. Marked x. Moving on to question number 11, we are given with describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle T onto triangle P, right? So these are the two things. This is simply an enlargement because a small object, sorry, a bigger object has changed into a smaller object, right? Which means this is a delargement, or you can simply say an enlargement, right? So let's match the corners first to get our center. So this would be our corners aligned. What happened? Yeah. And then this would be this, I guess, right? These two would be the corners. We have the center, that is 4 and 4, right? So this is an enlargement with center 4 and 4. Now we need to see the scale factor, right? So this is an image, this is 1, scale factor, this is 1, and this is 2, right? So this would be 1/2, but the shape has overall tilted, or you can say changed its alignment. so this would be a negative, right? We have learned this in our previous videos, in our previous video, right? So moving on to question number 12, we are given with describe fully the single transformation that maps the triangle A onto triangle B, right? So it appears to be a rotation, but let's just check it first. Let's just match the corners. So this would be it, and this would be it, I guess. Yes. Then we'll be drawing a line bisector, right? So we'll put the compass over here, we'll put the compass nib over here, draw the arcs above the line and below the line, right? Then we'll do the same for this. We'll put the compass over here, then put an arc over here, then put an arc over here, right? So wherever these two meet, we get the center, right? So they will meet at this point. This would be the center of the rotation, right? So we have the rotation, we have this as rotation, and with center being 5 and 3, right? So let's just match this. This would be this and this would be this. So it's a 90 degrees with angle 90 degrees, and since this has moved over here, so this would be clockwise. Oh, sorry, triangle A onto triangle B, right? So this would be a clockwise moment, right? Since it's a triangle A onto triangle B, and our center is 5 3, right? So this would be an clockwise moment. This is a clockwise moment, right? Moving on to question number 13, we have described the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. Now this is simply a enlargement, right? Because the shape has changed. Let's match the corners so that we have a more clarity. Right, so we have the center of enlargement, which is 0 sin enlargement center 0 7. We need scale factor, right? So this is 2 and this is 1, so our scale factor would be object size over image size. Our object size is 2 and our image size is 1, so this would be 2, right? Moving on, we have part B, triangle A onto triangle C. This appears to be a rotation, right? So let's just remove this and match the corners first, right? So we have this, then we have this right here, right? So again we'll do the same thing. We'll draw a line bisector of this line and a line bisector of this line, right? What we can do over here right now is we can take the gradient of the line. The gradient of the line would be it has moved downwards and then on the right hand side, so this would be 4 and 6. This would be -2/3, right? So our line bisector will have perpendicular bisector will have a 3/2 gradient, right? So this would be something like this. I would say a 3 and 2 would be 3 on the up and 2 on the right. Right, this is simply a line bisector of this. Let's just say this is a line bisector, right? And we'll draw the line bisector by using the compass. We'll use the same technique and we'll get the, wherever these two meet, we'll get the center, right? And our center would be 3 and a 1. This will be our center, right? So let's just take this line. I hope this line moves 3 and 1. This is 3 and 1, right? So this would be our line bisector, and this we have to draw this line bisector as well. So you can do this and they will intersect here, right? So we have the center of rotation over here, right? So this is our center of rotation. It is basically a rotation with center 3 and 1, right? Now let's just see what is the direction and what is the angle, right? So this would be this. It appears to be a 90 degrees. So this would be 90 degrees, and this is a clockwise direction, right? So this would be clockwise. Moving on to question number 14. We are given with the two objects like this. Describe fully the single transformation that maps onto triangle that maps shape A onto shape B, right? So let's just mark those triangles, mark those shapes. I guess this appears to be over here, right? And these two appears to be over here. So let's just see this first, right? Let's just mark them first. So this is basically this part right here, and this is the point over here, right? So this would be like this, this would be like this, right here, and this would be right here, right? So this appears to be a reflection, right? So the reflection is basically in between these 2 points, right? And the reflection would be here. The line of reflection would be here. We can simply take the line bisector, right? Or this is a pretty simple one. So the line between these two would be a line y is equals to 2 line, right? So this is a reflection, and in reflection we need only the line of reflection with the line of reflection being y is equals to 2, right? Rotate shape A 90 degrees clockwise about the point -1 and 2, right? So this is -1 and then 2. We have to rotate the shape A. Let's just remove these things and remove our scale. So we have to rotate shape A. We have to take back this thing again, right? So this would be this, sorry, right? And this is 13 degrees, so this would be 13 minus 90 would be 67. Yeah, 67, right? Or 77. That would be 77, I guess. Yeah, 77. So you can see the angle over here. This is the angle, right? So this has moved 1 down and 3 on the right. So the rotation will make it the opposite, right? This will make 3 up and 1 on the right hand side, right? So this would be this point right here, right? Sorry, this has moved 1, 2, 3 and then 4, right? So this would be 4. Sorry, this would be, this would be, I guess, 1, 2, 3 and then 4. This is 4. Yeah, right. So this would be our point, right? So we have this. Sorry, do we have to rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Oh, sorry, I have rotated it clockwise, right? So we have to rotate it anti-clockwise. Let's just take this again. So this would be 13 and 90. That would be 103. So this would be 103, right? So this would be 4 down and 1 on the left. So this would be 1 and then 1, 2, 3 and then 4, right? So this would be here, something here, right? So this would be -2 and -2. This is our first point, right? And let's just take this. This is 38 right here, 37. So this would be 127, right? And this is 4 over here and 3 downwards. So this would be 3 over here and 4 downwards. This would be something like this, right? And then you can simply draw this diagram. This is -4 and -2. The other one would be -6 and -3, right? And then -6 and -5, right? So you have the diagram. Tap into the scale. This is this part. This is this part. And then this is our last part right here, right? So this is our shape. You can mark this as X. Marked X. Enlarge shape A by scale factor -2 center to 0, right? So we have to enlarge shape A. 0, 2, 2, 0 is our scale, center, right? And it has to be a -2, right? So it will be drawn in the opposite direction, right? So this is 1 on the right and 1 downwards. So this would be 2 upwards and 2 on the right. So this would be here, right? So this would be 0, 2 first. Then this is 1 on the right and 1 on the up. So this would be 1, 2 on the left and 2 on the downward side, right? So this would be this, I guess, 0 and -2, right? So we have these 2 points, right? We can draw this, these 2 points first, right? and then we have this 3 down and 2 on the right, so this would be 6 up, 3 3 6 up, and this is, since this is 2 on the right, so this would be 4 on the left, right? So this would be here, something here, right? So we have this, sorry, this isn't a point, this is our point right here, right? So this is here, and let's just mark this point. So this is 4 on the right and 3 downwards, so this is 3 upwards and then 4 on the right, so this would be 2 to 4 6 and then 8, this is 8, right? So this would be our final point, and let's just join them in the end, right? This is the point and then this is the final point, right? So we have our object marked as y, right? Marked y. Moving on to question number 15, we have the last question over here. Yes, describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. Now this appears to be a rotation or a translation, right? It doesn't appear to be a reflection, right? So let's just draw this. Let's just mark the corners. This would be it, then this would be, this corner would be mapped onto this corner. We'll draw the line bisector, similarly putting our compass nib over here, and then over here we'll put an arc above the line and below the line to make it like this. So this would be something like this. Let's just assume this is our first line bisector, and the other line bisector would be these two line bisector, right? So we'll put a compass over here, we'll draw the arc over here, and then again over here, then we'll put a compass over here, then we'll put a compass over line, compass arc over here, right? So we'll draw the line again. So this would be our line, and we'll have a center, right? Wherever that those two bisectors meet, that would be our final center of rotation, right? So this will be our center of rotation, right? So since we have our center of rotation, let's write it down. We have rotation center as origin, that is 0 0, right? Now let's just mark the, I have to tilt the scale, not move the screen, sorry. So this is it, and then this would be something like this, right? So this appears to be a 90 degrees, so a 90 degrees, and since A onto B, this is a clockwise direction, right? So this would be clockwise, right? So we are done with all three things: center and the direction, right, and the angle, right? We are done with all the three things. Now this was it from my side. Thank you for watching, and please do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.